Joined Bank Vic in 1974, and as I look around, some of you probably weren't born back then. For me, a hero is an ordinary person. It's a person who perseveres, it's a person who endures and overcomes many obstacles on the way to achieve whatever they set out to do. So I've been involved in investigating homicides for 25 years. And I took some, I suppose, little bits and pieces from people that I met along the way, or books that I'd read, because eventually some people say, well, I become a leader within the homicide world. And there's no one in Australia who's investigated more homicides than I have, about 320. But my mentor, or people that I've looked up to, it's not just one person, there's several people. So Winston Churchill was a man who I actually admired. You know, when he died, I wasn't born. But if you read books about him and his leadership, he was a man who couldn't stand in front of an audience. He stuttered. He could not string 2 or 3 words together. But he went off and he did some training and he became an absolute magnificent leader. But when you read about him and you read in the way in which he delivered speeches, I was able to take on board some of those things. Be direct, be honest, be confident, use emotion. Pretty simple stuff, and be simple about the message that you're delivering. My phone has never been switched off in all my career, especially when we went to mobile phones. So if you're a witness, you might be the family of a victim, I've always said, you ring me anytime. So at 2 o'clock in the morning, I've often got out of bed and gone around and saw someone who was in distress. You know, in 2001, I was awarded the Australian Police Medal, and I was nominated by my sergeant, by my peers. So that becomes reasonably special because it's from the people that you work with who actually nominated me. So it becomes special because they appreciate what you do. 3 years ago, a young journalist came to me. Her name was Tammy Mills, and she now writes for The Age. She says, Ron, I want you to reinvestigate the death of Michelle Buckingham in Shepparton. She's a 16-year-old girl who was stabbed multiple times and raped and dumped in a table drain. Everyone's forgotten her. It's 28 years on. I said, Tammy, I don't have the time to do it. I don't have the staff. She kept ringing me and ringing me and ringing me. So eventually I drove up on my own, and she said, I'm going to write a magnificent story in the Shepparton News, and let's see what happens. I said, all right, I'll tell you what I'll do it on my own. So she wrote the story. We got 35 pieces of information, and a man came forward and he rang me up and he said, I want to meet you. I went and met him on the middle of the East Shepparton Footy Oval at 9:30 at night on my own. Stupid, I know. I saw him get out of his ute having a fag, and he walked across to me. I said, give me a smoke, and we sat there on the middle of the oval and we had a fag together. I don't smoke, but I only smoke with crooks, or if someone you're trying to build a relationship with. He said, I can tell you who killed her. It's my brother-in-law. Perseverance, endurance, but there were many hurdles to overcome because we were now 29 years on. And I remember going around and talking to Elvira, Michelle's mum, and I walked up the drive, my heart was pounding. Because I'm going to go in and tell her that I think I can solve her daughter's death. I walked in and she says, the last detective told me that, Ron. 29 years ago he said, I'm going to solve it. But he didn't, he charged the wrong person. Why should I trust you? I said, well, I'm here and you can trust me if you like. She gave me a big hug, she's a big German lady. She said, I trust you. It took me another 2 years, but eventually I charged Stephen Bradley. I persevered, I endured, I overcome many obstacles. September last year, he was committed. We've lost the art of communication. We've got to put the handbrake on a little bit and go back to actually engaging with people, engaging with your work colleagues, engaging with the community. And I know that that's where Bank Vic is heading, engaging with the work people here, lifting you up, engaging with the community. So you've got to think about, over the next month or so, as you drive this campaign, who should it be? I say it has to be an ordinary person. Might be a police officer, someone who's endured, someone who's persevered, someone who's overcome many obstacles, someone who gives a bit of themselves, but above all, someone who's great. And greatness just comes from humility. Thank you.
Nominate a hero today. Celebrate an unsung hero who has gone above and beyond their call of duty to make a selfless impact in people's lives. Visit bankvic.com.au/thankyou to nominate someone today who could win a $10,000 cash prize in the BankVic account.